Greetings, Earth. Once again, Father's Day, I'm gonna make a video about Brazilian organized crime. The people that harass me 24/7. I'm gonna make it worse now for you that harass me because I hope that someday I will die. Eventually in life, I will die, and then they will build a universal police and they will dig on my story, and then they will find each and every one of you. So therefore, I'm going to start telling the world why you do what you do. Well, for the first country, first for real civilizations out there, first class countries, first world countries, I'm telling you that Brazilians are in some deep shit. What happened is in the mid 70s, 80s, Brazilians, they got together and they stopped life in order to molest children and then mark one child, which is me, so that they could get connected to United States and many other people through the mind. Many times I hesitated to talk in video about what really happened out back in then, because sometimes I don't find worth it talk about, because the only people benefiting about this story, it's old women, old nasty women. Old nasty women, they are blondes. Organized crime is called Molly, Molly. Even if I speak in English, it's like this: Americans are the most criminals in the entire planet. They rule the world, which, if I speak about their problems and their crimes, I might mess with myself, because I maybe someday I will back. I don't know, but it's difficult for me to talk about their business. That's why even when I was there, when people used to ask me what I knew about politics, I always kept my mouth shut, and I prefer to leave the room or leave the country instead of nosing other people's politicians, because I wasn't a citizen. I was a foreigner, so I always left. I had conversations with Chinese, Asians before. I never really let any of my real opinions slip. But now I'm telling you, because I'm being threatened by Brazilians, and now I know what it is. When I was a child, they took me to a place, it's called Santa Luzia. And then they start the foundation of crime. They took a bunch of little kids, and then they colored their heads with blonde heads. Back then, probably they were preparing my ex-wife for me at that time, and I was the child chosen to be with my ex-wife, but I did not know her existence. So Brazil and the world were preparing me to be Jesus Christ, and somehow Jesus Christ in alive, and they don't kill me, they just mock me 24/7, they just bully me 24/7. They're begging me to get a sword and start killing a lot of people. They're begging me to hit them, a lot of people, with the cars. They're begging for war. They're begging. I don't do anything. I wake up every day in the morning. I do my thing. I work. I walk. I try to exercise. People harass me everywhere I go. They're begging me to do like many people done. When I was younger, I seen people shooting massive crowds in bars and restaurants and hotels. I never understood. Now I know why they did that. Those guys, they were me. What they did with those guys back then, they're doing to me right now. They're begging me to explode. And I only haven't killed many yet because I have family and I care for them. But I'm gonna tell you, even before this happened, I doubted that I'm gonna kill anyone. I doubted myself. I really doubted. But I really feel like, sometimes I feel like, well, if the time comes, we might have to do something, because it's getting really, it's tiring right now. It's basically children. Children, they are addicted to anal trespassing. There's energy that goes inside someone's butthole. And children in Brazil, they are extremely addicted to that. Old women, old nasty wacko women, old evil women, they're all addicted to that. Plus, there's gays and bisexual, married bisexual men, they're all addicted to that. Somehow, in the line of thoughts, of human thoughts in our clowns, that go beyond our heads and our understanding. People like my energy, and they think that by harassing me 24/7, my reaction will be what they are looking for. I don't have a reaction towards their bot all the time. Sometimes I lecture them. I try to put them in their place. But when you lecture savages and animals and people, the unpolite people like Brazilians, it's in vain. They don't learn anything. They don't change. They become even more evil. The women in Brazil, they're so evil that they spend most of their times inside their houses eating, becoming fat, and then study and spying lives like mine. Whenever I pass by, they say something because they've been spying on me, because they know my routine, they know my life. So they say personal things about me to make me angry. When I'm mad, that's when the energy somewhere, someone is passing, is trespassing other people's behind in my behalf, saying that it's me, but it's not me. When I get mad, I think of God. I think, oh God, I think it's time to go somewhere really far away from this place, because in Brazil it's a set up area where Afro descendants rule everyone. They are the best fighters of mixed martial arts. All blondes are crime subjects based on my ex-wife. Nicole Place. They's headed somewhere in the world, in the planet, with American organized crime subject elements and so forth. There is nothing in American but crime. Everything in American is crime. Every day watch TV on American, it's about crime. Each and every one on TV in American is someone picked either from jail or either from some shit, pothole shit, albergue or shelter or crash pads to do the news at that day, because they keep fooling society, they keep fooling the world with their BS. Brazilians now, they don't have any church. They have church. If I go to church, everyone start going to church again, because I'm going somehow. My eyes is kind of like a camera, a universal camera. They are agreeing on this. I disagree, but people look at me as if I am God, a live God. They look at me, they make weird things so that they're heading message towards other people that I never met, that I never will. But they're using me as if I was a famous man, and if my eyes was the cameras of New York City Times Square. That's how they're using me. They isolated me. They transferred all my friends to different states. They erased my past life from me. They put all my parents and families away from me in a pretending type of way. They have gangs in Brazil. Most of them, they're gays and they're bisexual. They are the gangs of my childhood life. Now, children, they're trying to bring them back, because children wants me to start murdering people that harassed and bully me. Probably I will. And most of these gangs, they have connections with my nephews. My nephews are the DNAs. They come from a guy that has the DNA of Zulu tribe, which I grew up with. I don't have any problems with them, but they are trying to create a situation where when my mother dies or my father dies or some of my family die, they will start persecuting me. So I have to be prepared to kill many people, because that's what I think they're going to do. When we were little, they kept taking me to different areas, and then they used to take a bunch of kids and put us around and tell us to sit around in a circle and then masturbate looking to each other. That time they were creating a crime, the crime foundation in Brazil. It's called Santa Luzia. It's a ghetto, but in the future, probably black people will make their basis of warehouses and so on. Now I am living in an area where I grew up, where is my youthhood. I grew up around. It's and then many Brazilians, they're hanging out on bars, and because we don't socialize anymore, they're harassing me 24/7. They harass me about my job, they harass me about my business, they harass me about my everything, and they control my mother against me. Sometimes my mother falls mysteriously somewhere, wherever she goes. They keep her in a real heavy weight, so that they keep her constantly lost. She doesn't have any clue of life, what really happened in life. She's lucid, but she really don't know. She doesn't know that they boycotted her marriage. They don't know that they're boycotting us, family, the few people that are in our family. She doesn't know that they have looks, they have the eyes on our property. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know none of those things. And so most of the Brazilians that try to control my family, my house, and my life and everything else, it's stereotypes of men. Most of it is short men. Short men in Brazil, they keep themselves tough and kind of like buff because they're open now, showing us all men that they are jealous, they are envy of us, they feel envy towards us. They're already admitting. Everywhere I go now, short men, strange short men, they start shit with me out of nowhere. I'm just riding my bicycle. A short man look at me. He cannot pretend how much he envies me, my tallness, how tall I am. He cannot pretend. I go in the gym, they start problem right in there. I never saw the person ever before. They start in Brazil. There is no law for harassment. There's no law for stalking. There's no law for spy on us. They spy me taking shit every day. They spy me on number one. They every time I'm out, there's family with children, and they know that I know how to worship children. I know how to adore children, but I'm not anymore because I know now they're confusing things. Brazilians, they do not use children. They do not like their children. They use children for either sex or for harassment or for butthole trespassing or to show off their children to me, which I don't have anything to do with children. I'm single. Sometimes when I can't socialize and I say hello to a child, which really feel I've been taught by many mothers before not to be too much with children that I don't know. So now I just say hello. I used to even pick children up. I used to pick them up. I used to like them a lot. I used to thought that our friendships were like an animal, a friendship that I have with animals. I love them so much. But now I don't anymore. For several years, I cut my friendships with my contact with them because I noticed that Brazilians, they are if there is a word worse than nasty, they're cunts. Brazilians are cunt, and they are showing me that they are that. Brazilians, they either clones of Leandro from São Paulo or they are clones of my brother. Most of systematic men are my brother's clone, and they walk on my brother's shoes. Most old men, they're kind of wacko as well, but drunk and all that in bars and all that. They walk in my father's shoes. They're not even 1% close to be my equal to my father, but I can sense my father's personality on them. I see that they walk on my father's shoes for several years. My brother as well. My brother's been robbed by blonde women, fat women, ugly women, most of old women. Women in Brazil, they steal our body expression and then they apply on their husbands to say that those things don't come from our father or our big brothers. And also to keep me quiet, they threat to marry my brother. Not only my brother is already married to my ex-girlfriend. Now they are threatening to marry my brother with all my ex-girlfriends. That's what they whispering to me. I'm not gonna lie to you if I concerned or not. I just feel to myself like if there was a reason for me to kill my brother, he would have to try a little harder, because by Earth, I know Earth is set up against myself as evil, pure evil. You Earth, you are evil. There's no authorities that raise a flag and protect my rights. I know that I'm alone now. But if there's any reasons that you guys are trying to create so that I can kill my brother, I can to push me to murder my brother in a spot, it's not gonna be by making him setting up, hooking him up with my ex-girlfriends or girlfriends of mine. Even if I have a wife, future references, you guys have to try a little harder. I know that's what you're doing. I don't speak more because I don't want to expose a lot of American people, because sometimes when you're an American, you are a stranger as well. You need to walk. You need to buy food. You need to go somewhere. Sometimes you need jobs. You need things. So I don't expose them much, but I just want to let you know that I know what you're doing. In Brazil, it's basically like this. Santa Luzia, it's a pothole shit area where many years ago, savages and tribes in Brazil, they invaded there, and then they sold the area for my sister. She's my aunt, actually. They sold an area to my aunt, and then they promised her that the area was going to be awesome. Then they took me there. There is a rumors about physicians. Then they hooked my aunt with John Clark, which is a Frenchman. Then they start French math against my life. They start introducing a bunch of homosexuals to me. His Charles was an old lawyer of mine. They murdered the man. Then Gabi, Gideon, blah, 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 blah. They always introduce gay men to me. Meanwhile, my big brother and all the other black people, they were creating crime foundation, organized crime, drug dealers, who was going to marry who, where they were going to live, territory, and then there was Gracie family, and then there was fights, then there was funk. Then they start with bullying me. After they molested me, they start bullying me in school, and then they build the MCBS bullshit gay bisexual gangs that there is now. You will identify them because they wear blonde heads mating up. They color their heads blondes, or they make a few blonde lights on their heads, or they either that way or they're very like skinny guys. Most of them they fight box. They are fighters. They go around neighborhoods molesting children. They put children in a circle to masturbate, looking to each other in a random lost areas. They are pushing children to homosexuality. Then they will bring a guy, a tall guy, a strong guy with a triable. Do you know those tattoos? That's kind of like a tribe tattoo. There is the guy with a huge dick, and then he walks around in random neighborhoods, kind of like poor areas, showing his dick to little girls. Then when we get older, he end up living into alone in an apartment. He's the guy that stuck couples. He's the guy that will betray the couple. He's trying to do the Ricardo thing. Then what else they do? Then there is the DNA of Jim Carrey. They work with trucks as well. They as well try to make me become gay. They start when I was a child. They start jamming a lot of porn magazines into me, showing me a lot of porn magazines, women doing sex magazines, all that. For me, it was disturbing. So they were trying so hard. Now, most of the guys that look like Jim Carrey, they became gay. So now I know that there's a chase of gay people around those people, and they were trying to pass it to me. But it didn't work. Many of them became gay. There's a lot of guys that became women, by the way. So Brazilians are like this now. There's several neighborhoods of ghetto, and it's called Canal. Canal is the foundation of crime, and each and everywhere I go, excuse me, people use the names of the marginals, the vagabonds that used to live there. They are building things there now. I passed one day, I passed by, and they're kind of reaching evolution. But it doesn't erase what they did, not only with me, but with children. They're trying to make it my fault, and so be it. I will say everything that they did. Everywhere I go, they use the names of the guys in there because they want to build the four of them again in different areas. Most children are gay as well, and children, they are, like I said before, in order for children to get acknowledged in their buttholes, their little buttholes, they bug me with the ghosts of their area. Now I'm not there anymore. I'm living here. Children now, when we're in the street, they're cute. I look at them, they're cute. But when they're attacking from far away, from headed areas. They're developing noises. They also work with black people. They are surrounding me. They're planning how to kill me somehow. Most of them, they're clones of Gutenberg Souza that hides in the United States, or they're either clones of other black people. There's timelines that of black people that follow Will Smith. Some timelines follow my brother-in-law. He's a very nice guy. I doubted that he's involved into this, but his clones are. A lot of his clones are. And I see the guy and I go like, wow, you walking, you acting, you moving just like my brother-in-law. Like I told you before in different videos, I worked in with a guy, a tiny short guy. He looks like he want to show me something. He didn't look efficient, like professional at all. He moved just like my brother, but he looked like my friend from childhood. So now I know it's a conspiracy of my childhood. Zulu tribe, African descendants, bald heads. Sometimes I like to call them bozo, try to offend them a little bit. Bald heads are very difficult. There's a lot of bald heads that they are amazing, awesome, cool guys, but there's some of them that they're not only ugly, but they're kind of no good. They're up to no good at all. But there's a lot of them. They're like they're cool guys. I like to keep them as friends, not just because my son says bald, and I'm not because or if I'm afraid of him or not. It's just because the guy is cool. He's nice. It's good to be around, and most of you are not. Some of you are bisexuals. You will constantly trying to get me, trying to start problems with me. I feel sorry for you, many of you. I am so sorry. Sometimes I want to throw up. Whatever I say will happen. Whatever I report on Twitter about Brazilians trying to scam me with my ex, it will start happening. For example, let me tell you this. There is my ex-wife. She lives in the United States. Probably she doesn't live there anymore. She's living in a different country. I heard and I bet she is. She's not into this pothole anymore. This pothole that they create against me was only in Brazil and San Francisco, California. Why? Because homosexuals, they get bored of fucking each other, so they need fresh meat. So they decided to get me. I believe that my family sold me for the world, to the world, as Abraham did with his son. Because you see, my father is indifferent. He doesn't give a fuck what people does to me or not. My mother as well. My family don't care. So I think that I was sold as a child. Now I'm a grown-up man. I considered and I remember all the pastors that helped me to become who I am, the man that helped me to become who I am. My mom helps me, my family helped me, but the price is really high. Basically, I'm losing my entire family. I don't have any friends. They all transferred to somewhere because of the scam the United States and Brazilians create against me. I can't affirm anything because friends is into this as well. It's a boy that get molested, and then Earth uses him, try to convert the guilt against him, so that bisexual men, bald heads, short men, and black men can live a crime life freely, accusing him every time things get tough on them, which is me. Then they use me as God, they use me as Jesus. They don't pay me for anything. They boycott my life. I've been several years without a woman. They do not allow me to touch a woman. They boycott every time I start something with a woman. Short men are the most people that harass me the most. Short men. They already show me there's nothing I can do to be tall. I'm tall. I'm just tall. They show me that they make sure that I don't get the right nutrients. They keep me always running up and down so that I lose weight. They get mad if I train martial arts. They're constantly in my face about martial arts, which I doubt I will ever use it. I never ever fight anyways. I can count in my fingers how many times I fought. The only thing I can tell you is that I have no idea what to do besides starting a war against these people. Because there's no police, there's no law, there's no authorities, there's no family, there's no friends. And if you keep bullying me, you keep harassing me, there will be a time that my honor will kick in and I will have to do something. Let me just picture to you what's going to happen. Right now, Brazilians, I'm living in Vila Clores, Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. As I make videos, everyone is pretend they don't listen to this. They don't want to know. They don't want to know what's going on. Bald heads of crime, Brazilian criminals, they check this out. They check this out, and then they're like, okay, they have criminals. They speak English. They separate criminals to speak English. They send criminals to college to learn things so that they can fit in into crime. The whole schedule of the world is being changed so for into a jail bond business. That will be might have, but probably they will continue doing making everything about jail bond. Why? Because Afro descendants are inside jail, and they manipulate the outside being inside. They threat people. They send message to criminals outside. Criminals outside kill people. Send message. So the big guys they become afraid. They're like, okay, so we're gonna obey. So when they realize that the police is together with criminals, the police work with criminals. The police work with criminals and with the TV. Every day on TV is BS. Every single day of TV it's a bowl of shit. The TV guy, they're competing who shows the most sad things in life. Most of the neighborhoods they will not get managed, not just because people don't deserve, but because the politicians they steal money from society. They already stole us when we were children. They are not stealing now. They stole from us. They robbed us. Our family robbed us. Our friends robbed us. Look around you and look for one friend online and see if your best friends, your childhood friends, all of them, they ignore us online because they are making money off of us. They're making money off of our misfortunes. My friend from childhood, he's a guy that he's a stranger to me now, but he is kind of like Satan. And Satan becomes many guys. Satan becomes my brother, becomes my childhood friend. For example, let's say Satan gives cells, little glimpse of his cells to other people so the people can become my childhood friend. For example, he builds nothing but vagabonds and criminals. When I see vagabond and the vagabond moves, I go like, oh, I know who that is. I know I can identify people now through people. When the person his knees, I go like, oh, this is. I grow up with the man. I know it's my childhood friend. It's okay. You can come out. I know he knows that I know, but the person gets kind of awkward and walks away because I identified my friend from childhood inside a random person. Then I know the society is sending random people to try to start my life over again. But the nucleus of it is still my past life people. My childhood friend, he's a guy that I cannot trust. I would suggest no one to trust him. He's not trustworthy. He's a cool guy, like guy, and all that. But it's just in my. I hope I don't offend him, and I don't want any problems with him. If you want problems, they're weird because they believe that only they can have guns, they can start shit with the world, and nothing happens. And if things gets worse, they call Africa or me. Let me tell you something, man. When you start war with me, not just this that you do, but really war that the cops say you in, they will kill you, they will murder you. I go in your house, I kill each and every one of you, your family, your child, your children, each and every one of you. Your gay boys that drive cars all loud in my streets, they are the first one that I'm gonna murder. Because why? Because they are playboys. They are in jiu-jitsu, Royce, Gracie family. They are in the United States. They already got to my ex-wife, which she's a crime subject. You all involved in some crime, and then the only argument you have against me is by using children against me. You're trying to caught me with children so that you can molest me in jail. That's your plan. That's why you murdered my old lawyer. And there's a lot of pile of shit into Brazilians' background. Not just few murders here and then, but it's because it's a long story. They are making all their teenagers are MC equals 22. That's your teenagers. They are all my nephews. All your teenagers, all your sons are my nephews. They're two. Behind them, there is my brother-in-law. He's somewhere. He's like an Indian as well. He's fishing. He's camping. He has a lot of connections. I have no idea where he is. He's somewhere. They come from Zulu tribe. Zulu tribe is a war tribe. It's a huge tribe. It's a lot of black people. Trust me. Throughout jungle, there's a lot of them. So that not I will mess with you because I'm scared of you. No, it's not that. I know where your mother lives. I know where you all live. Some of them I know. Some of them moved away because they're scared. I was in New Jersey, living and working with a guy that he was my childhood friend. I almost said to him, "Do you know what? You are my both childhood friends in one." He used to speak like my childhood friend, the young one, and he used to walk and act like my brother-in-law, my old brother-in-law. So by then I knew like, okay, Zulu tribe is a big thing. Even Hollywood picks a little bit of their personality. Even I have their ways in me. I have you watched the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy? It's funny, but that guy is my godfather. Come on, he's my godfather. He's my godfather. I know he's my godfather. It's they share the same DNA. Come on. Then by those things, I realized that I was like, okay, if I was God, they would hadn't molest me and as a child so that they can be trespassing my bottom. If they were so smart, they wouldn't need to involve me with children or this whole thing with youth so that they can learn how to lecture. When I was young, I used to try to understand like why are you they used to pull their pants down and bend it to me and beg me to fuck them in the ass. I used to be like questioning myself like why are they pushing me to fuck men? I don't want like men. My entire life I ran from Brazilians in that little spot. They used to be like, let's steal mango. I used to go steal mangoes. They used to make like teenagers. I was the only small guy. Teenagers, grown men, they were putting their pants down and they were like introducing their dicks inside each other in a train, a form of a train, and they were asking, begging me to join in. I would be like, I told you in this in different video. Those guys sometimes they harass me in the street. They are there. They are in front of bars. When I pass by, he can't get enough of me. It's like I'm a god. When I pass by, he goes crazy. The MC subject, the MC, it's a fucking bisexual bitch with blonde head, and he smokes, he does drugs, he's a police bitch, and he's kind of like a rocket. He's kind of like a madman. He's going crazy. He needs someone to fuck him in the ass, and he is looking for anyone. When he sees me, he starts shit with me. So I have to be really creative. I have to say that I'm late. I have to run my bike. Sometimes I stand and confront. But most of these guys, they're professional in fights. I fought with him before. They set me up with the guy before. I got my ass kicked. They are professional. Some of them are bionic. I grew up around bionic people. I know what bionic black man is. I seen it with my bare eyes. I seen what they are capable of. They are headed somewhere in jungles and in favelas, ghettos throughout Brazil. They keep everything ghetto and really nasty and fake and phony so that black people can emphasize themselves and make everything ghetto and then be be better for them to their visual arts become only for traffic of drugs becomes worse. I've been in areas in somewhere in Santa Catarina. I used to be like, wow, this is where they're trying to reach to make an area where the police is it's a completely snake. The police runs the drug dealer things. The police is open, and the police is the one running the business. There's no drug deal. Drug dealers are teenagers selling on the corners, the real young teenagers selling on the corners, and fucking homosexuals and selling cocaine to homosexuals. And the police is the one that drives around the block selling, like taking care of the business of drug dealers. Just so that you understand what we're facing. Right now, they're fighting against me because I started a little business of bicycle. So they inject money into black people so that they start a competition against me. Everything I start, everything works for black people, not to me. Every time I paid a guy to put a door in my store, he stole the money and stole the door. I went to the police. I made a record. Nothing happens. No one goes after no one. The police doesn't. The police work like this with the criminals. If you buy a car, you put insurance, they hit your car so just that the woman from the insurance can make two grand from you. This is how nasty, how snake Brazilian become. I just want you to know before, if someday we really start war, I have a weapon. If you start, I already I let the police know that, because if you don't protect me, when I call 911 in Brazil, 190, and you sarcastic with me, you denying to help me against criminals, you make fun of me, that means that it's time for me to claim my life. So I claim my life. I bought few knives, few things. If someday things happen real bad, I will murder people, but not because I'm mean. I just want you to know I'm not mean. I don't hate cops. I actually admire the profession. I'm not those type of bitches that you have in your cracker lunges that I hate cops. I wish all cops are dead. I don't feel like that. For me, you are nothing. You're just a policeman. You're just a government employee. For me, you're just someone. You're just a citizen. I don't see you as a threat. I see you as a threat when you try to break into my house. You say you're going to break inside and you're going to force inside my house. Then I feel like, well, I should murder you. But, because I have principles, I have family, sometimes I have to fold as well. But it crossed my mind before. But because you're kind with me sometimes, so then we go both way. I go the same miles. I go the second mile with you. But I think that you police in Brazil, you have a lot to learn. You're not even close to a policeman. I think you're just a guard. You're just you're a police guard. You're a guard. You're just a guy that have to guard. You're just a security guard. You're not a police yet. I doubt it. But I hope I don't offend you. I don't think you're a police. I think you're scared of black people. Black people, they are getting uniforms from the police, and they're constantly behind the desk. I think shouldn't work that way, because I have a lot of baggage from the past. Everything in your country and your streets and cities are wrong. You only give tickets to me. Come on. I get a car, you get me 2 tickets. You already got me 2 tickets. How can you put cameras to give me tickets when I'm living into a ghetto? I'm driving in the ghetto. Pothole shit ghetto, a project of a startup city. How can you give me tickets when you criminals, they drive around with illegal cars 24/7, you don't give them any tickets? When the cars get too tough, they can't drive anymore. They toss it somewhere in the mud, and then they get a different one for $1,000, and they keep on driving illegal cars. When I go out to try to make a buck so that I can keep my principle as man, you give me tickets. If that's not personal, I don't know what it is. I just need to know which direction it's coming from. I just need to know. If it's everyone, bring it. But let me know. At least have honor. Let me know. Be like Jesus said. Say it first. It's everyone. You are Jesus. Basically, just then I'll prepare myself to kill as many as I can of you. But if I don't know where it comes from, I can't just drive my car and hit many of your gay, bisexual old men that walks in my father's shoes, that mocks me when I pass by a bar. I can't do that. But if I know it's you, if you say, why don't you say in my face, I will murder you. 1 week I will murder. Then you will see if you will live. You won't live. But you gotta be certain. You gotta be truthful. Don't send me some indigent That's not even a person. Those people that you got some from Africa or some jail and you send it, you start problem for me. That person doesn't matter to me. That's why I forward, because I go like, what are you? You want some change? It's like, what are you trying to do? All right, so take care. It's so easy to decode your crime. I will make more video now. I have to take a shower. I'm gonna eat something. I was doing exercise. I don't have a lot of time to deal with vagabonds like you Brazilians. But later on in the future, I will tell people all your system is so simple. You have a John, a João, you have nothing to do with Americans. You guys have nothing alike. The only thing I like you do is to clone my ex-wife with Molly. Molly's crime subject. Blondes that fuck black men and fuck bald head guys. You guys are trying to change history. You're trying to take guys with my feature or African or Arabics or Indians away from the map. You want to isolate us from action by isolating us, by mocking us, by making us less interest, not to mention the size of our dicks that don't help at all as well. But you're making us unattractive. You're making us unwanted, unworthy, unneeded. You're trying to do this by constantly harassing us. There's no leader. All the leaders of yours are short, have problems with tall guys. You have the Superman story is true. I have the DNA of Superman on me, but you don't let me to fulfill my full potential. So you keep sending me to be around Zulu tribes or bald heads or guys, black guys. Excuse me, because if I live my full potential, the real me will come out, and I look rich. I look healthy. I look rich. I look healthy. I look smart. I don't look like your ghetto. But then again, you keep on destroying my life. It's really difficult for me to say in English what really is. Because if I say in Portuguese, it doesn't matter because I don't respect Brazilians. I think Brazilians are part of shit. You know, one day I'm gonna, but I don't know. Sometimes I care so much about my ex safety. Sometimes I say her name, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about like really, I can't find anyone I want in the entire planet. If I want to find her, I find her. I just don't say because there's a lot of crazy people out there. There's a lot of psychopath out there, and I don't want her any harm. I prefer her to get married, get children, become safe somewhere in a rich man. I pour all that I know into her safety just so that she can be happy. But when I get mad and I tell her name and I expose her things, it's because I think it's not fair to me what Brazilians did and what Americans did. Brazil is a pothole of shit of people trying to get by in life. They have guns, they have houses, they have big cars, nice cars, and all that. But they're not even close what it is of to be an American or to live what we lived 10 years, 15 years ago. I guess I don't know how long. They have no clue what it is. So that's why they keep harassing me. They pretend to be my friends so that they can try to put me into a state of mind that I'm gonna teach them how to fit in or how to blend in. Because I don't, they convert the situation. They start bullying me again about my past life in my childhood, which was a setup by them. I just want you to know, because when I start murdering people, I don't want you to be like, "Well, that guy was a nice guy. He lived there. His mom and this and this and that." I want you to know. There was one time that I was in my house here. They put two guys to become my friend. It was a police setup against myself. I got out, but they murdered my lawyer. That time I thought, this is it. I have to get a gun. Then I kept procrastinating. I kept like, you know what? We are pacifists, Junior. We are pacifists. We don't need this. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get out. God will help. I kept praying. I bent my knee. I talk to God every single second, millisecond of the day. I'm with God. Trust me. That if there is a guy that pray more than me, I don't know. I would love to meet you, because if there is a guy that pray and talk to the God with the thing, with it, every day, like all the time, my brain don't know anything but God. That's all I do since I was a child. When I was a child, I did not know how to pray. The spirits taught me to do this. This is my faith foundation. This is what was took it from me somewhere down in the road. Now I pray mentally to God. It's like me and God, we're like this. We're like friends. I am friends. If I don't know if he's my friend or she or he, but I am like this with God. So there's nothing that God knows that I don't know. There's nothing in this lifetime that any physician or scientist or any of your bullshit that you call leaders know that I don't know. Nothing. There's nothing. The air, the utopia, man, bisexual, gay, bullshit, crime that yaps at me, that uses my body as a communicator to somewhere else because he's not talking to me, but he's sending directions to me. These people are pathetic. They harass me for butthole trespassing. Do you know how many years these people been wasting my time and they don't learn anything? They just harass my bottom. Did you know? And I walk by their house. It's the same thing for several years. I think that they clean their buttholes just because they need to. If you look, the few times that they bent it in front of me, their culos were really dirty, and I saw it with my eyes. Ask them. There's funny things. There's a lot of things in life that people go like, speak the truth. I dare you to speak the truth. Then society will know who is trying to get fucked by who. Cigarettes, beers, alcohol, everything is this pothole of shit